Y'all, so there was this Facebook post, and it was about how a lot of characters that were not formerly portrayed by black people are now being portrayed by black people, and a lot of cartoon characters are being drawn as black now and stuff, right? Now, this is my thing. Okay? Half the time, it doesn't really matter. Like, it'd be like, okay, the story is about XYZ. They happen to cast a black person. Who cares, right? But then the other half the time, it is very obvious that these businesses are just faking diversity so that they can like appease black people and get that black dollar. Because let's be like completely honest with ourselves. These businesses, these corporations and stuff, they don't care about black people. Let's be honest, right? But they do care about money, and the black dollar does hold value, okay? So again, it's very obvious that a lot of times, these people are not actually attempting to portray black people or tell our stories, right? They're just attempting to get our money. So they'll just take some white character and slap a black face on it and be like, yeah, here you go, nigga. Like, honestly, it's whack. But let me get back to my point, right? So white people's in the comments throwing a fit, okay? And then one of them posted this, right? And I was staring at it because I'm like, to be fair, I am high right now, right? So I'm like, am I tripping, or is this not a white woman with braids? Now, y'all, I'm sitting here staring at this picture like, because again, the point of this post was that white people were upset about the fact that black people were being cast into roles that, white people formerly played, right? So I'm sitting here staring at this picture and I'm like, like, why are they complaining this is a white person with braids? Like, what? So then I look at the replies, right? And indeed, they are upset. Like, people are like, oh, this is ridiculous. Like, this is the worst one of all, my dog diggity. And I'm literally like, yo, what? So I had to go and Google this because I've never seen this movie or anything, right? I don't know nothing about this, right? Okay, because if I recall correctly, I think the cartoon came out when I was in, like, high school or something. I remember this cartoon coming out, How to Train Your Dragon, but I didn't go to see it, right? But, that being said, I don't know anything about this movie or the fact that they coming out with a live action or anything like that, right? So I go to look this movie up and I look up, How to Train Your Dragon, Astrid's actress, right? So then I'm looking at pictures of her. She's literally white. Like, y'all, I'm flabbergasted, right? Now, I told y'all I am high, right? So I'm looking at this like, okay, clearly I gotta be tripping, right? So I'm really trying to make it make sense. Like, I'm like, okay, like, subtract the 3, but divide by 7, though. But that don't work because it's going to be a remainder of 4. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm really like, what? Like, the limit does not exist. Like, I'm really trying to make the math. I'm not even fucking joking, right? So then I'm like, let me go to this actress's Wikipedia page because what is going on, right? So then I go and I look at, Wikipedia, it be having the early life header, but her page was very short. I don't think it had early life. I forget what it was. It was like personal life or something. That's not even the important part, bro. So I click on that part, right? And it says, her parents are, the dad's name was like Owl or some shit. O-L. I was like, clearly that motherfucker's white. I clicked on his name and yes, he was absolutely Caucasian. Have you ever met a black man named Owl? Like, what the fuck? But again, not even the point. I'm getting sidetracked, okay? So then, okay, it said that was her dad, and her mom is Thandiwe Newton. Now, I don't know if I'm just a hater. No, I'm not a hater. That's not it. Never that, right? But I don't know who she is outside of a YouTube video that I made about some nonsense that she said before, right? I could not tell you one movie that Thandiwe Newton was in. Like, is she an actress? Or I don't even know. I just assumed she was an actress. But honestly, I really don't know, right? But I made a YouTube video about her years ago, and let me tell you why. Years ago, Thandiwe Newton had made some video talking about how she is half white and half black, right? And I think she said she used to be playing in black roles and people tried to make her black, but she ain't identifies black or something. And then she said like black women was mean to her and jealous of her. Some crazy shit, some goofball shit. doo-dooery, right? Like, I don't even remember what it was. Like, go look up Thandiwe Newton. That was a couple years ago again, right? But whatever it was she said, she made it very clear that she was a biracial woman, right? So I'm sitting here looking at the actress for Astrid in How to Train Your Dragon. You know, I'm looking at her Wikipedia page. She has a white dad and a biracial mom. Her mom is half black and half white. So I was not tripping. This girl was white. Okay, this girl's white. Like, baby, she Tina Casserole white. Okay, I was not tripping, right? But it's crazy, like, how deeply white people hate black people to the point where they will hate a white person just because a black person sneezed on them once. Like, literally, bro. This was such an interesting experience because I was really dumbfounded, because this is my thing, right? I came to the post and I saw white people complaining about black characters being cast in these, you know, traditionally white roles, right? And initially the white people were posting like actual black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they posted the cartoon character for Shaggy in the 2023 movie or whatever, and it was a clearly like black cartoon character. They posted, you know, a couple of actual people too, not just cartoons, right? And they were actually black people, you know, playing these roles, right? But then I scrolled to this picture, and it's a literal white woman with braids. Like, literally, I was squinting at this. Now, I'm not even finna get sidetracked again about the fact that this white girl got braids in her head, because that's appalling. That is appalling. Like, y'all really use that little one drop of little black pepper to really just crip walk all in to black culture. Because, girl, there's no way in hell you need to have them braids in your head. Like, be for real. And that's actually disrespectful. But I'm getting sidetracked again. I'm getting sidetracked again, right? The point is, I saw this post and I had no background knowledge about anything. No biases, no concept of, she's, you know, so-and-so's child, so I already know she's white. You know, none of that, right? I just came into this completely unknowing, and I was confused. I'm not even joking. Side note, I look amazing. Like, oh my God. Now, I always look good, but sometimes I just look extra good. Ugh, okay. But anyway, right? It's crazy because, you know, I get so many comments from sometimes real black people, and then other times biracials and one droppers and stuff, right? And they will say that they are black because they experience racism from white people. Now, first of all, I ought to smack the black onto y'all. You know how look, you know how when you threaten the black person, you say, bitch, I'll slap the black off of you. Well, you bitches is not black, so I'm gonna have to slap the black on to you motherfuckers. But okay, first of all, it's very disrespectful to say that you're black because you experience racism from white people. Like, how dare you minimize the beauty of my blackness to that shit? Like, ooh. But let me move on, okay? They often say that they are black because of the things that they experience from white people, right? And bitch, you're not black. Like, no questions asked about that, right? But it was so interesting to see these white people hate actual black people so much that they will hate other white people just because of one drop of black in them. Now, again, that absolutely does not make you bitches black, because I already know the biracials, the quadroons, the octoroons, they all finna be in the comments. Yeah, I ain't black because my white side of the family treated me horribly. That's between you and your kinfolk, sweetheart. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Like what? Y'all be out of y'all motherfucking minds. Y'all really think that the black community is supposed to be like, what? Master said you not white? Well, I'll take his sloppy seconds, so thank you, boss. Like, what the fuck? Y'all are really, like, insane. But anyway, let me get back to my point. Of course, you bitches are not black, but it's so just like, wow, to see just how much white people hate black people. Because this is my thing. You know, I'm well aware. Y'all already know I'm hip, baby. Look, you already know I'm hipping and I'm hopping, okay? I'm well aware of that, right? But I grew up in Detroit around all black people, right? I didn't really start like, okay, I'm not going to say I didn't really start like learning about racism until I was an adult, because that's not true, right? I really started learning about it when I was in middle school and I started using the internet more. And that was my first exposure to white people, right? So I don't have that experience of growing up around white people and really experiencing their just bitter hatred for black people in person that a lot of black people who grew up in the suburbs do, right? So it's always kind of eye-opening when I'm around them and I see how they actually act and how they actually feel. What I'm trying to say, because again, I'm not trying to say that I'm surprised at how much white people hate us, because baby, I'm not shocked by that at all. That's like me being surprised that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. I'm not surprised by that at all, right? But what I'm trying to say is there has not been a lot of times, honestly, I can't think of like one, right, where I've been in community with white people. Because first of all, I'm, from Detroit, born and raised, right? But then when I turned 18, I did go off to college and I did attend a PWI, right? But even then, I was never in social situations with white people. Like, I went to class and my classes were predominantly white, right? But in class, we just sat there and were quiet and took notes, right? There were not a lot of times that I was at parties or get-togethers or events and I was surrounded by white people. Now, it did happen a couple times, actually, because sometimes I went to events for my major and all the other biochem majors was white, right? But when I just went to like social stuff, I would always go to like Black Student Union stuff, right? So my point again is there's not been a lot of times in my life where I've been in a social setting and I've been surrounded by white people, because I feel like when you're in that setting, you see a different side to them than you see, just sitting in class or whatever. Like the stories I hear from people who grew up in the suburbs and went to white schools and stuff, y'all be like, yeah, golly gee, they used to call me the monkey friend. And I just be like, huh? But you know what? I'm getting sidetracked again, right? But y'all be saying crazy shit. Y'all be like, yeah, like I joined a white fraternity and the song that they sang was like, a racified version of a Negro spiritual. They were like, big lip niggers got coleslaw. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all be saying some crazy shit when y'all be talking about like really being in social settings with white people. And again, I've not had a lot of those experiences, right? So seeing them on the internet and like they pack, because dogs and shit running packs, right? Okay, right? Seeing them on the internet and they little pack was like, it was eye-opening, honestly.